The NTUCB is calling for the heads of VTL's board members, but tonight the Prime Minister is saying they did nothing wrong and your electricity bill is going up again. We'll tell you more about the new billing system BEL is introducing this month. Also, a pastor gets sentenced to 10 years for raping a member of his congregation. Plus, what's in your baby bag and how much did it cost? Our news team went shopping for milk and diapers to see whether a minimum wage salary can cover it all. We've got details of these and other stories in our newscast for tonight, Wednesday, August 19th, 2026. Good evening. With your news, I'm Indra Craig.
This newscast is brought to you by Cellular World, your authorized Samsung distributor.
Every day, the demand on your business gets higher. More productivity, better equipment, and reliable support to keep up with a fast-moving world. At Cellular World Business Solutions, we're ready to help you boost performance across every operation. Don't let outdated technology hold you back. With our certified and supported solutions, your business stays ahead. We supply office equipment, printers, inks, and toners, software licenses, IT system assembly as your Dell Platinum and Cisco partner, appliances, and custom orders tailored to your needs. From startups to large enterprises and renowned institutions, we serve every corner of the country because no industry can afford to fall behind on technology. Let's take your business to the next level. Contact us today at 610-2494. Cellular World Business Solutions, your reliable partner in business success.
The roads of Belize connect us all. Riders, drivers, families, friends. Every day begins with a little routine and the confidence that life's journeys are protected. From school drop-off through the daily grind and everything in between, each with different roads ahead, yet one common goal: to arrive safely. Atlantic Insurance stands with Belize's riders and motorists with affordable protection, support, and peace of mind for a journey ahead. For the roads we share and the lives we protect, Atlantic Insurance is by your side, insuring you from life's unexpected. Atlantic Insurance, insuring you from life's unexpected.
Nando's Wholesale is the distributor for the full line of Badia spices, including the original complete seasoning, the perfect combination of ingredients and spices prepared to enhance the natural flavor of your favorite foods. Also, cinnamon powder for all your desserts, fruits, and beverages, and as special dishes. All these are available in commercial sizes or restaurant packaging. Nando's products are available at your local retailer or contact us at 222-5000. From Corozal to Toledo, Nando's is proud to be serving Belize as its #1 wholesale distributor for over 35 years. Wake up to positivity and inspiration. It's a fresh and diverse twist on your mornings. Tune in to Sun Up on 7 every weekday morning at 6:30 a.m. right here on your nation station, Channel 7. It's the morning show you don't want to miss.
Un momento, todo es perfecto. Pero la vida puede cambiar inesperadamente. Cuando ocurre lo inesperado, estar asegurado con ICB lo cambia todo. ICB está aquí para guiarte en cada paso del proceso. La vida pasa rápido. Protégete con la Insurance Corporation of Belize. Para más información, llama a 224-5328 o 224-5329 o visita icbinsurance.com.
Welcome to the V Department Store. We are conveniently located on Coney Drive in Belize City. That's right on Coney Drive in Belize City. At the V Department Store, we offer a wide variety of groceries, cosmetics, kitchen appliances, kitchenware, electronics, and more. We've also recently expanded to the second floor to better meet your household and office furniture needs. We now have a wide variety of furniture, home decor, and accessories. We have a shared vision for a comfortable and customer-friendly shopping experience. Visit us today and be warmly greeted by our reasonable prices and cordial staff. The V Department Store. Experience the ultimate shopping destination.
These charter mints aren't from an navigating along the coast. This morning, the 2023 in the.
Good evening. Good evening. I'm Cherie Kelso, and here's what's ahead for you on 7 News Tonight.
We've got details of these and other stories in our newscast for tonight. Good evening. With your news, I'm Indra Craig.
Please, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7. Please, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7.
Today marked the first time we caught up with the Prime Minister since the Cabinet announced its decision to reject BTL's proposed acquisition of SpeedNet. As we told you, the vote was supposed to have been taken this past Tuesday, but a release came out last week stating their position. So how did Cabinet come to that position, and was each minister polled? The PM was tight-lipped about the process.
Why did Cabinet ultimately vote to reject the SpeedNet acquisition?
Well, I think you need to understand that whatever we discuss in Cabinet is confidential. But we felt that maybe at this time, and you always, and I know people say, oh, you said at this time, but simply I believe that Cabinet in its wisdom decided that maybe we should not proceed.
How did you go about consulting other cabinet members in the face of reports or suspicions that it was likely a unilateral decision?
Again, this is a matter for the Cabinet. I'm not free to discuss. What I can tell you, I did not make the decision on my own.
And while PM claims he did not make the decision unilaterally, he gave us his personal interpretation of the subsequent SpeedNet release. Yesterday, the NTUCB called it distasteful, as it basically threatened to up the ante to cut BTL's profits. But the PM didn't see it that way. Here's what he told us.
How do you view the SpeedNet release in the wake of Cabinet's decision, seeing that others have seen it as a threat?
No, I don't think it was a threat. I think they were, if you really look at it and read it, you were congratulating the public. You want competition, so there will be competition. That's how I read it. I didn't see it as a threat.
Is it your view, perhaps, have you considered asking or imploring on BTL to ask the PUC to repeal that SI that makes competition a bit more challenging for them?
But how does it make more challenging? You all have been saying that you don't want prices to go up. And so what BTL did, what has happened in all this discussion, and it's something that the courts have already determined, that one, that there must be compensation. I think it was the opposition that challenged a contract that was given to SpeedNet, and the court ruled that there should be competition. So that's one. Secondly, what the PUC was doing in their deliberations and consultations, and they did what, again, the court has been saying, that BTL is a dominant operator. And as such, then they had to do that and to declare that. And so I don't know what else you're talking about.
I'm just thinking in the face of Smart or SpeedNet being able to essentially set their prices and perhaps even undersell, where BTL now has to go through lengthy processes because of the SI to change their prices.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. What the SI said is that they can't raise the prices, but of course a company can reduce its prices.
And in the wake of that release, the NTUCB's president called for a policy that would require that all government services remain with BTL. And as we told you last night, at the top of that list of demands was the removal of Chairman Mark Lizarraga and several other board members. We asked the PM whether he is willing to comply with their demands. But according to him, the board did nothing wrong.
The NTUCB and social partners are calling for the immediate removal of Chairman Lizarraga and several other board members. Will you comply?
But did they do anything wrong?
You just said that they can't work.
But again, I think you all are jumping ahead of your time. The board did not decide to buy SpeedNet at that moment. The board decided to do more due diligence to see whether it was feasible to be able to buy. A decision was not made at that time with the board to buy. And so I don't know. So what is it that they did wrong?
Well,
can we have another question? I really have to go.
There's this general consensus that the chairman did not act in the best interest of the general public. At least that's what the unions are saying.
That is their view. And I don't agree with them. Anything else?
And in making demands, the NTUCB also set a 90-day deadline, particularly in relation to enactment of legislation. Here's how the PM responded when we asked him about it.
In relation to the 90-day deadline that's been given by the NTUCB in relation to enactment of legislation, I think bringing into force one legislation passed already, and also changes to like the PUC Commission and I think the BTL board. Will the government comply with those or see them in the streets?
We'll take a look at it.
Do you see it being a possibility, a tripartite system, leadership system, where at the BTL board level?
I would have to take a look at it. I can't comment on what I have not decided on. No?
So what will happen if those decisions haven't been met with the 90 days? Well, we'll see what the NTUCB and social partners plan next. When we return, your electricity bill can see a 1.5% per kilowatt increase with BEL's cost of power adjustment. We'll give you the details on how it works. And if you're the parent of a newborn, how much did you spend this month on the basic supplies for your baby? We went shopping to find out if a minimum wage salary can sustain the growing bills. We'll have these stories and more after the break.
Please, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7.
The world is watching. The stakes are high. And with an Atlantic Bank credit card, your moments start online.
Bro, tickets just dropped. I have my credit card ready. So how many tickets, guys?
I'll take two.
1, 2.
I want 3.
Go further, experience more. Make your online purchases seamless, secure, and in real time.
All right, let's buy the tickets now. What did you do, bro? I need to enter a password.
Oh, Atlantic Bank's credit card has a 3D secure feature to protect your online shopping.
Check your email.
Some transactions require an additional layer of security. 3D Secure adds an extra verification step. An OTP is sent to ensure it is you authorizing payment.
Guys, we got the ticket!
Your online transactions made with Atlantic Bank credit cards are fast, safe, and verified.
Atlantic Bank, building the future together.
Champion security, champion security, champion security. Yeah. Your security is our business, so we gonna protect you like a champion, like a champion.
Guess what, Mr. Handsome? Yeah, over there, champion security. This is the place to be. What does sign say? Champion Security. Here at Champion Security, we provide quality service. You know why? Such as triology lock, fire alarm, IP camera system, gate operator, biometric lock, and alarm system. Champion Security. Make a go check out where they go on inside of Champion Security. And boy, nice to meet you, my brother. Tell me a little bit more about Champion Security.
Well, welcome, Mr. Hanson. Here at Champion Security, we offer fire system, alarm system, camera system, gate operator, access control, and also trilogy locks and magnetic locks. Everything you need to do with security systems for residential and businesses, you could find everything here at Champion Security. We also consist of 12 technicians, and we offer technical support 24 hours. So anything you need for your security systems, you could find everything here at Champion Security.
Remember, guys, here at Champion Security, we live by our motto, where safety is our business. Give us a call now. Don't forget to check us on Facebook, Instagram, and all the social media platforms. And continue to shake it to the max all the way. Champion Security, the best place to be. We care for your safety.
You want to rent it, that's not a problem. We got remote gate.
Smart for everybody. Smart leading everything. Smart give you everything. Smart offer everything. Smart give you everything. North to the east and the south and the west. Smart are the best. Darling, double up my data and give me all the text. In fact, give me a plan for my family. Unlimited calls, so me like it. And Smart make everybody feel happy. Bringing people together, me want it now. Smart got love for everybody. Me want my Smart plan. Want it right now. Me want my Smart plan. Want it right now. More bundles, data plan. Me want my smartphone, internet in my hand. Call me want my Smart plan. Want it right now. Smart. Stay connected. Stay happy.
Here's how to access your contribution history on the My Social Security portal. First, go to your browser and type ssbportal.org.bz. Enter your email and password, then click Log In. Once logged in, you'll see your full portal account on the screen. On the left-hand side, you'll notice a drop-down menu for added features. Click on History. Choose Contributions. Read the disclaimer, then click Continue. You'll now see a full window displaying your contribution history. In the table, each row represents a different year. For example, let's look at the year 2024. Click on the row and a detailed breakdown will appear. This breakdown includes your employer's name, your earnings for each month and week, contribution type, the amounts paid, and that's how you can explore the new contribution feature on the My Social Security portal. It's quick, easy, and keeps your Social Security information right at your fingertips. Create your account today.
As a plumber for 25 years, I believe in quality, and that's why I shop for all my plumbing supplies at Benny's. Cheaper PVC pipes and fittings may save a little today, but leaks can cost much more tomorrow. And that's why I shop at Benny's, because quality is saving.
Quality is savings at Benny's. Best for you and best for me. At Benny's, it's the quality. Benny's, quality and saving.
Her phone, her laptop, her whole life in this apartment. If anything happens, it's more than just a loss. It's everything. RF&G Renters Insurance helps protect what matters most, even when you don't own the place.
Write your story with an education loan from Atlantic Bank. Enjoy competitive interest rates, attractive repayment terms, and 2 deferred monthly principal payments, offering you added flexibility as you get started. Also, with every approved loan, you are eligible for a MasterCard credit card. To learn more, visit your nearest Atlantic Bank branch or scan the QR code to apply today. Your journey, our commitment.
Atlantic Bank, building the future together.
Wake up to positivity and inspiration. It's a fresh and diverse twist on your mornings. Tune in to Sun Up on 7 every weekday morning at 6:30 a.m. right here on your nation station, Channel 7. It's the morning show you don't want to miss.
These charter mints aren't
We're navigating along the coastline.
This morning, the 2023 in the... Good evening.
Good evening. I'm Shireen Halsell, and here's
What's ahead for you on 7 News Tonight?
We've got details of these and other stories in our newscast for tonight. Good evening. With your news, I'm Indra Craig.
Please, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7. Please, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7.
Victor Wagner Hernandez, a 67-year-old pastor of the Toledo Faith Outreach Christian Center in Punta Gorda, Toledo, and former president of the National Evangelical Association of Belize, was sentenced on Monday, August 17th, to a 10-year prison term by High Court Justice Antoinette Moore following his conviction for 2 accounts of rape and 1 count of sexual assault against a female congregant. The convictions stem from a 6-year pattern of abuse between 2015 and 2021, including rapes at his business and residence, as well as a sexual assault inside his church, where he exploited his position as her spiritual leader and threatened to accuse her of theft to prevent reporting. Although guidelines starting points for the offenses yielded provisional sentences of 9, 10, and 3 years imprisonment, respectively, totaling 22 years, Justice Moore ordered all terms to run concurrently to ensure a fair and proportionate sentence. taking into account aggravating factors such as the abuse of religious trust and the presence of the victim's teenage daughter during the assault, alongside mitigating factors like Hernandez's lack of a prior criminal record, his advanced age, and medical conditions, including a stroke, hypertension, and type 2 diabetes. His sentence is effective from his August 3, 2026 conviction date, and he has been remanded to the Belize Central Prison. In other news, you may be doing a double take the next time you see your electricity bill. In an official release, the Belize Electricity Board announced today that the company is implementing the cost of power adjustment mechanism that was discussed back in July with effect this month. Jo Marie Lanza went over the details of that release today and spoke with a representative from the PUC. Here's how she broke it down for us.
BEL announced today that it is implementing a new billing mechanism, which will essentially see an increase in the cost of electricity. In early July, the Public Utilities Commission announced its approval for an extra charge to your bill of up to 1.5 cents per kilowatt hour. This is referred to by BEL and the PUC as the cost of power adjacent, or COPPA, which is expected to be reviewed on a monthly basis. In their press release, BEL stated with this new mechanism, fluctuations in the cost of imported power will now be passed directly and automatically onto your monthly light bill. According to the PUC's official public notice, the regulator denied BEL's request to independently implement those automatic monthly adjustments. By law, the Commission notes only the PUC can approve rate changes. BEL Chairman Lin Young had previously explained what it could mean for consumers' monthly bills.
So what the suggestion was to try to smoothen the effect on customers rather than wait a year or two and then having to adjust the rates by 6 cents or 5 cents or whatever. And so it's going to be on a monthly basis that we'll take a 6-month average of the cost of power and compare it to what is in the rates. And let's say at the rolling 6 months for the last 6 months was 32 cents per kilowatt hour. Then that's 2 cents per kilowatt hour more than what's built into the rates. But this mechanism is going to limit it at 1.5 cents, the adjustment either way, right? So then the customer would get an extra 1.5 cents as a cost of power adjustment on the bill. As I was explaining, most of the customers, about 70% of our customers are residential customers that burn about $200 per month. So a customer like that would probably see something like maybe a $5 adjustment to the bill if it was a full 1.5 cents. If it could be less. The last year, the company had some struggles trying to pay CFE, and there were times when CFE actually said, listen, if you don't come up with money, we're going to have to disconnect you. So we can't continue to put the country's electricity supply at risk, right? So we have to try to put things in place to make sure that we eliminate that risk as much as we can.
In the press release BEL issued today, they stated that they would move forward with implementing COPPA, detailing that, quote, the actual cost of power over the past 6 months exceeded the reference cost of power that the PUC approved by 4.3 cents kilowatts per hour. However, the sandbox framework strictly limits the monthly adjustment to a maximum of 1.5 cents kilowatt per hour to insulate customers against sudden price shifts. We reached out to the PUC for comment, and this is what their Communications and Consumer Affairs Manager shared with us.
The COPA, which is the cost of power adjustment, was approved by the PUC only as a sandbox tool for testing during that same ARP period, which is July 1st to June 30th, 2027. July 1st, 2026 to June 30th, 2027, right? The purpose of the COPA in a sandbox tool is to allow the Commission to assess whether the mechanisms work effectively, and more importantly, to ensure that regulatory principles of consumer protection and efficiency remain intact, right? So another important thing to clarify is that the COPA was not approved by the PUC as a permanent mechanism, right? The PUC approved COPA as a regulatory sandbox, which is a controlled environment that allows the Commission to test and evaluate under close oversight, transparency requirements, and consumer protection safeguards. So if you look at the final decision and the order that was shared in August, there are very specific and clear mechanisms in place, conditions in place for BEL as they implement COPA on consumers as part of the regulatory sandbox. One of the oversight condition is every month BEL must send in a submission to the PUC for COPA to be placed on any consumer's bill. And they have a specific time period that they need to do, that they need to send that in. One of the other conditions is that COPA can only be applied, can only be charged and applied equally across all customer categories except the social rate, right? And so Schedule 6C outlines the specific conditions that holds where the PUC has close oversight and transparency requirements, as well as some of the consumer protection safeguards in place as we, review the COPA and see how we test and evaluate how it works.
We had also reached out to BEL for interviews, but they referred us to the press release they had issued and stated that this is simply the implementation of what was communicated during the previous workshop that was held back in July. Jo Marie Lanza, 7 News.
A broader base rate of 0.03 cents per kilowatt hour took effect on January 1st. At the top of the news, you heard from the PM about Cabinet's rejection of the proposed SpeedNet acquisition. The question remains whether they issued that decision ahead of the protest that was being planned by the NTUCB and the social partners in an effort to placate them. Well, when we asked the head table at NTUCB's press conference yesterday whether it actually worked since the protest was canceled, the union senator explained that they're still ready to hit the streets.
We have not canceled any action that was being planned. We have paused our action collectively, strategically, so that we can decide what the issues are that we are going to keep on the front burner. BTL and the vote, the acquisition, was one of those issues. It was not the only issue. So, the teachers stand ready, willing and able, with 24 hours notice to be on the street.
That's right. Yeah. Ready.
The instructions have already been given, and we are very clear. We stand for accountability, transparency, and good governance in the leadership of this country. Anything that smells like it is not that will trigger action by the now. Thank you guys very much for allowing us to come together. Joint social partners. I am grateful to Mark Lizarraga for the foolish decision that he made. For bringing together, I want to say, BCWU and BCWJ there, with the kumbaya, everybody the kumbaya. Because when we met in front of Social Security Board, I said it then. this is starting to feel a lot like 2005.
Yep.
So, no, Courtney, don't ever then decide that we may stop. That we decide that it's time to pause strategically. And if we get the sense that they play and they pretend just for make boots not hit the street today, boots will hit the street immediately. Me says so.
And whenever the time comes for the NTUCB to protest, the BNTU will be right there, but not just against the national issues. According to the president, it's time they started balancing those issues with the ones that specifically affect their membership. Yesterday, you heard Nadia Kalis detail some of the challenges teachers are facing. But that wasn't all. She also explained that job security for teachers is low, especially because there are more problems than incentives.
More and more of our educators are leaving the classrooms. More and more of our educators are signing up for participate learning. And I want to talk about what is happening, and I have to educate a lot of my young teachers who are coming into the system right now. When our teachers go for participate learning, their existing positions is actually available for them, you know. So when you come in on what you call on temporary employment. Managements are not telling you, some managers, maybe some, are not telling you that it's temporary employment. It is not until you want to apply for certain, like long leaves, or you want to apply for certain benefits or get appointed, you find out they can't appoint you because you're not in a full-time position. And you think you're in a full-time position. Another issue is this, and I talked about this before, and I'm seeing more and more persons coming forward with it. And so we're going to put out a call, so we have one long list and deal with that. A number of our teachers applied for their full license, some of them renewal. And because the office did not furnish that license in time, that teacher had to leave that classroom. No, that's true, no fault of the teacher. But to fill the gap, the teacher has to apply for leave without pay. What kind of nonsense that?
Nonsense.
I want you to see the amount of things that are happening why teachers are becoming discouraged. Now, to some of my managers, the BNTU has made multiple attempts to meet with all managers. The general managers for the major schools, the big ones, government, Catholic, Methodist, were not present at the meetings. And majority of our members comes from these managements. It's important that we meet. It's important that we discuss. If we don't come to a middle ground, we're going to continue to have challenges. The union is accused of being biased. We come to you to get your side. We come to you so we can look at the rules and what the rules are saying. And most of the time you get upset with us because what we will point out to you is the fact that where you do wrong because the rules said are not so. But you don't want to be held accountable, some of you.
At the end of July, the Revenue Authority bill was tabled in the House of Representatives. It falls in line with the move to transform the Belize Tax Service into a semi-autonomous revenue authority. But the employees and the business sector have voiced concerns about it. And yesterday, the PSU president explained what he finds most alarming about the bill.
For me as a citizen, the most dangerous defect in the draft Revenue Authority bill has nothing to do with pensions and workers' protection or how you want to transfer the public officers therein. It has everything to do with who holds the checks and balances, who call the shots. The draft bill creates a board that is called an advisory board under Section 5.5, advisory board. It strips that executive body of all executive authority where operation, supervision, or decision making is concerned. It even strips the advisory body from giving directions to the CEO. and it removes any ability to effect or implement any policy other than to advise. All the power instead flows from one person.
Who that?
A minister who appoints and removes the CEO. The CEO can only be appointed by the minister and can only be removed by the minister. There is no independent selection panel to even assess the competency of this individual. And definitely the advisory board can say who. Of course, they have to pass it through the House. But if you're electing incompetent people in the House, then of course, the ayes have it. And so we must ensure that the manner in which the CEO of the soon-to-be Revenue Authority is established, that there is a clear and competitive process whereby there is serious debate on the integrity and competency of that person. Let me be clear here, comrades. If the CEO wants something, he seeks the approval of the minister. If the minister wants something, he instructs the CEO. And that is dangerous because that could very well be setting precedent for how we are run all the statutory bodies.
And while several national issues were being laid out by the head table at that press conference, the union senator brought up perhaps the most pressing, the rising cost of living. It's a concern for every Belizean, and those with the fewest resources are being squeezed dry. According to Dennison, it's not surprising why some people turn to crime to get their basic necessities.
There is no plan to fight the rising cost of living. We need one sensible plan for deal with the cost of living, because me think, this is me are no sociologist, but me think one man would really want to work for a fair day's pay before he decide he's going to thief, rob, or murder. Me think so. But if one hard-working man have to work all day and can't make ends meet, brother, he go into the shop, go thief the potted meat and the sausage for carry home for your picnic. Me think so. And I know the top arbitrary now, I don't know what me would have done. But there are people out here who are committing crimes because they can't do better. We have to create opportunities for people out here for mind their picnic, take care of their families. But I just got a one example. It can't be 3 hours of work for 1 gallon of gas. Because fuel will feed the entire economy. The man who want to do a weed eater business, that $15 for 1 gallon of gas for weed eater. So when you can't lower the price of the things that we need as inputs so that your labor can feed you and your family, we are in a bad place as a country now. President tell you earlier now, this economic hardship that is driving crime needs a proper plan for us to attack poverty. We need to create opportunities instead of ensuring that the people who finance the campaigns are the people who get the bloated contracts, the people that have all the money to go now. You see how much construction that happen right now? Lord knows we need better roads, you know. But the why then people get the contracts? The why we want to buy smart? The why we want to buy cable company? Because the plan is to make the wealthy get wealthier.
And while Senator Dennison says he might have turned to crime to feed his family, What are parents of infants and toddlers doing to afford the basic necessities? Today, our newsroom took a walk through the grocery store with a simple question in mind. If you are a parent earning minimum wage, how much of your paycheck would it take to buy the essentials for your baby? Jaleesa Roberts reports.
Diapers, formula, baby wipes. These are only some of the necessities you'll find in every home with an infant. And being able to afford these products could be the difference between a happy and healthy baby and one that's hungry and deprived. But many parents only make minimum wage, $5 an hour. But is that enough?
What we'll do is that we'll compare it to the cost of living and see exactly how persons are affording children.
We didn't go looking for luxury and we didn't fill a shopping cart with wants. We went looking for what we assume were necessities. We picked up things like wipes, diapers, baby formula, milk, baby lotion, powder, baby oil, a bottle, and other small items that babies use. And when the calculation was done, the total came up to $186.43. That may not sound like an unreasonable amount of money, but compare it with a paycheck of someone earning minimum wage, and the perspective changes. Belize's national minimum wage currently stands at $5 an hour. For someone working a standard 45-hour week, that's roughly $225 a week, or about $975 a month before deductions. That means our $186.43 basket represents roughly 1/5 of a minimum wage worker's gross monthly income. But if they were spending that weekly, it would be about 83%. And remember, the basket isn't the entire cost of raising a child. It doesn't include rent, electricity, transportation, healthcare, and the cost of keeping food on the table for the rest of the family. When you examine what a minimum wage worker earns and compare it with the cost of basic necessities, what does that tell you about the purchasing power of that worker? Because a wage isn't simply about how much money appears on the payslip. It's really about what that money can actually buy. The minimum wage was increased from $3.30 to $5 an hour in January of 2023, a significant increase that was intended to improve the income of some of Belize's lowest paid workers. But based on our calculations, the baby necessity basket consumes approximately 19% of gross monthly minimum wage income. Or put it in another way, after buying these selected necessities, a worker would have roughly $788.57 left for their gross monthly wages, and that would still have to cover their remaining expenses. And that's also before taxes, Social Security, and other deductions that may reduce the take-home pay. So we walked into the supermarket today expecting to come out with the basics. But instead, we came out with a number that raises a much bigger question. If it costs nearly $200 to begin providing a basics for one child, how much does a minimum wage paycheck really buy in Belize? Jaleesa Roberts, 7 News.
The store we chose to do our shopping is a popular Asian establishment on the Central American Boulevard. After the break, we'll take you back to Guyana to the ceremony where Channel 7's news director was named Caribbean Defender of Media Freedom. And we'll tell you about an entrepreneur who left his accounting job to open a traveling car wash. These stories and more when we come back.
Belize, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7. Belize, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7.
Yesterday, we showed you the moment when Channel 7's news director received the Caribbean Defender of Media Freedom Award in Georgetown, Guyana. The award recognizes outstanding journalism, courageous reporting, and meaningful contribution to the protection and advancement of media freedom across the Caribbean. The ceremony saw plenty of speeches discussing the importance of journalism in a democratic and modern society, and the fearlessness required to pursue the truth at any cost. Courtney Menzies has an overview of the ceremony, and here's that story.
What does it mean to be the Caribbean Defender of Media Freedom? Last night at the 57th CBU Annual General Assembly, that was the question that sought to be answered as the award was presented to Channel 7's news director, Jules Vasquez. It's the first time this award has been bestowed, and it was established between the Caribbean Broadcasting Union and the Center for Media Integrity of the Americas. The CMIA Director, Ambassador Don Feely, announced the winner, but first he explained the important role that free and independent journalism plays in a democracy.
A democracy without a free press is a democracy without a memory, without an independent witness, and ultimately without an effective means of holding power accountable. In short, it is not a genuine democracy, despite the electoral edifice it may inhabit. The right to speak freely is not a luxury of democratic society, and the right to report freely is not a privilege granted by those in power. It is a very condition itself of democracy. Perhaps the best test of a government's commitment to freedom of expression is not how it treats journalists who praise it, it's how it treats those journalists who might challenge it. That distinction matters because freedom of the press is not designed to protect a government or an ambassador from embarrassment. It's designed to protect citizens from the consequences of government without scrutiny. That scrutiny is not disrespect, it is accountability. And accountability is not an obstacle to good government. Accountability is what makes good government possible. Jules himself once described the journalist's responsibility in terms that I think are worth remembering. He said, "Our job is to comfort the afflicted and afflict the comfortable." There's wisdom in that very Caribbean formulation, because democracy requires both. It requires a voice for people who lack power, and it requires someone willing to knock on the doors of those who have it.
Vasquez followed that speech with a personal reflection of his audacious and irreverent style of journalism, the very same style that won him the title of Caribbean Defender of Media Freedom. He then posed an important question to journalists. What are you in it for?
How I got here to this esteemed podium, I will never know. I will only say never underestimate the motivating energy of self-loathing and imposter syndrome. Especially when I am at these events among these gilded exemplars of excellence in our profession. I mean, you hear her voice. I recall the great singer, Leonard Cohen. He said, "I was born like this. I had no choice. I was born with the gift of a golden voice." Well, I was born with a stutter and a face and a figure that my mother might say is best suited for radio. But I am still here. While I did not have Cohen's golden voice, I was born with the gift of a certain determination and audacity. Some would say an outrageousness. And while certainly not fearless, I have an ability to disregard fear, to somehow think myself invulnerable, an affinity to face down danger in the pursuit of the greater good that the public needs to know and understand the society they live in. Because news is a public utility, just as important as water or electricity. A modern democratic society cannot survive without it. We provide the oxygen that makes democracy breathe. Those who define and defend that space to our colleagues, I say respect, but we need to do more, much more. Telling the truth can be dangerous. We must have that courage. And if you don't believe this as a journalist, then I have to ask you, what are you in it for?
After the presentation of the award, Guyana's president gave the keynote address. Dr. Ali spoke about the CBU's vision of unifying the Caribbean and ensuring that the media reflects the regional identity and integration. And he reflected on the roots of Caribbean broadcasting that led to the establishment of the CBU.
There was a time when the most powerful piece of technology in a Caribbean household was a small radio. It might have been sitting on a kitchen table. It might have been on a veranda. It might have been beside a bed. It might have been in a rum shop, a village shop, or a taxi. And when that radio came alive, something remarkable happened. People gathered. They listened. They argued. They laughed. They learned. They heard the news from home. They heard the cricket commentary. They heard calypso, reggae, soca, chutney, and gospel. They heard politicians debating. They heard the weather forecasts. They listened nightly to the death announcements. They heard the voice of the announcer who sounded as though he or she lived next door. And perhaps, most importantly, they heard themselves. And our societies seem much closer and more personal than it is today. The little radio was not merely an instrument for transmitting sound. It was an instrument for transmitting our Caribbean identity.
The other nominees for this award were Trinidadian journalist and press freedom advocate Wesley Gibbons and the Media Institute of the Caribbean. Courtney Menzies, 7 News.
The CBU's 37th Media Awards Showcase is being held tonight. It's a joint effort between multiple GOB entities, UB and the Turneffe Atoll Sustainable Association, which are all working together to safeguard our marine space and protect our Fisher Flats. A signing ceremony was held for the Turneffe Conservation Land Trust deed this afternoon, and Jo Marie Lanza was there to see it happen. Here's her report.
It's a pledge between GOB and the Turneffe Atoll Sustainability Association to secure Turneffe's national lands, habitat, and marine science future for the people of Belize. An official signing took place this afternoon for the Turneffe Conservation Land Trust deed, bringing together partners from the Blue Economy, GOB, TASA, and UB. Their executive director, Valdemar Andrade, explained what this deed will do for them.
This secures a vast amount of mangroves that is a critical part of the whole ecosystem dynamics between mangrove, seagrass, and the coral reefs to produce that. And so as we protect these lands in perpetuity, you can look at what other benefits there are. Currently in the market, in terms of the world market, you're looking at biodiversity credits, you're looking at blue carbon credits, you're looking at how can you, beyond what it produces economically for the government, the fishers, the tourism stakeholders, and us in terms of recreational value, can also produce a market value in terms of blue carbon credits and biodiversity credits into the future. So it's very, very significant. And this is for the entire country, for the entire world. And it's another model that should be brought from the north to the south of Belize.
Signing on behalf of GOB was the Prime Minister himself. He explained why they decided to work out another deed with TASA.
When we got into government, this was already signed by the previous government, but in their case, there were certain legal issues that we needed to correct. And I want to really thank Dr. Craig Hayes for not giving up and to be able to sit down with us and to find how we can make changes and to improve on it, but never lose sight of what this is all about. It's about conservation. But at the same time, thanks to Dr. Hayes, they made a deposit on the land. I think it's about $2.2 million. And since it has been removed from the original trust fund to another trust that is being managed and owned by Belizeans, in the discussions, and they came up with the idea of what, instead of them getting a check or a refund, to use that money to be able to help the University of Belize to set up a marine research facility in the area. So it's a win-win, and it's really, really exciting what we have just done by signing this. And as I told Dr. Palacio, now his work begins to ensure that now we can put this in a world-class marine research facility, University of Belize, and in an area where you have great universities with billions of dollars in trust funds worth billions of dollars, but they don't have that, what we own. And so the University of Belize is being challenged and tasked to be able to put that into place.
Approximately 365,000 acres of marine space, with an additional 17 to 20,000 acres of protected space, is included within the agreement. Andrade highlighted that the critical difference between the previous signing and today's is that it includes a partnership with the University of Belize to construct a research facility at Turnef.
The importance also is that it's protecting flats fishery areas, right? Now, flats fishery areas, I've seen many local Belizeans now who are ex-fishers or who have been trained in flats fishery earning a significant wage in a flats fishery industry at the end of the day. It is very important that people understand that, while in 2022, when we did that study, or when the Turnef Atoll Trust did that study, it said that flats fishery was 6.7% of GDP. Today, it probably is 10% of GDP. You're talking about $240 million. So it's comparable to the fishing industry at the end of the day. And those are the type of jobs that you want Belizeans to have, because now you're earning a living wage, right? You can earn anything from, let's say, $300 a day to $1,000 a day at the end of the day. So protection can yield benefits in terms of those economic values to people of Belize. And we have to start preparing the next generation of fly fishers across the country and in Turnef as well. So again, it is with immediate effect. Also, the value of what is being done here, and it's something that is important, right? $2.2 million is going to be put into research, a research facility at Turnef through the University of Belize. I sit on the University of Belize board, and it is an important investment in the future researchers of Belize. Now, why is that important? In management, we make management interventions based on science. So it is only when we have the science information from monitoring and research that we can say, okay, only so much fishers should be in this area, or only so much visitors can come to this area, or this is the amount of conch and lobster you should be taking out of the area. So science is important to the management of the area.
Jo Marie Lanza, 7 News.
Our newsroom has found a mobile coffee shop and barber shop, but tonight we're bringing you a mobile car wash. At 25 years old, Quincy Neal traded in his degree and office job for a pressure washer, suds, and entrepreneurship, betting on himself one vehicle at a time. Jaleesa Roberts visited MQ Mobile Detailing Services, bringing the car wash wherever you are. Here's that story.
For many young professionals, success is imagined as being behind a desk with a degree on a wall, a steady salary, and a career that follows a predictable path. But for 25-year-old Quincy Neal, success comes with a 100-gallon water tank, a generator, a pressure washer, and a willingness to take business to the customer. This is MQ Mobile Detailing Services. The idea began not in a boardroom, but during a conversation with his mother.
One day we were just doing business, going on a business trip to Belmopan, and she just brought up the idea spontaneously, and she was like, why don't we start a mobile business? And initially I took it as she wanted to start like a drive-through car wash, and I was like, I don't really know how we feel about it. And then we started to talk more about it, and she explained that, we could get a van, this, that, and a man help you invest, this, that, whatever the case might be. And for some reason, I guess she helped ignite that light bulb in my head, and I was like, that's actually a pretty good idea.
But turning that idea into reality took patience. Neal spent roughly a year moving from concept to operation, including months spent sourcing a van, equipment, and chemicals, and navigating the challenges of getting those supplies into Belize. By the end of April into May, MQ Mobile Detailing was operating consistently, and the business is built around one simple concept. Don't make the customer come to the car wash, but take the car wash to the customer.
So essentially, we have a 100-gallon water tank here. We have our own water supply. We have our own power supply here with our generator, and everything is hooked up to our generator for our power supply. We have our pressure washer. We have all our small power tools as well that we need to do bigger jobs. And essentially, we offer from basic washes all the way up to full details. So if you just want a regular exterior or a regular in and out wash, we come to you at your office, home, school, wherever you're at. If you're having dinner at tavern or wherever you're at, we can come to you and get your vehicle washed. If you want a full detail, if you want your seats clean, whatever that is, if you want a wax, whatever that is, we offer that service.
But perhaps the most interesting part of Neil's story isn't the business itself. It's the career he left behind to build it. With a bachelor's degree in accounting from the University of Belize, Neil previously worked as a junior auditor and later spent a semester teaching at SJCJC. So why walk away from a white-collar career for a hands-on business?
I ask myself that every single morning, how I ended up here. But honestly, from the beginning, from when I was a child, I always wanted to be a businessman. And I believe that's why I took the route of studying accounting, because accounting is the language of business. So that was always my intention, to understand accounting, understand how businesses work. And once I gained that experience and understood what I believe I needed to at that point, I took this step into business. But it has always been something on the forefront of my mind, of my friends. Everyone who knows me knows that I've always been that person who was always talking about being an entrepreneur and doing my own thing. So it was just a matter of time, and it was all part of the plan.
And while his customer base includes doctors, attorneys, CEOs, and business owners, Neil says he is equally conscious of the working Belizean who simply wants quality service without breaking the bank.
I might just try to find that balance with my pricing. That balance where I'm able to eat at the end of the day and my clients are able to access the services that we have to offer. So I really don't believe that my prices are outrageous. And I have had people come to me and tell me that my prices seem very fair to the average person. So that's what I aim to hit at, just to try to find that healthy balance where I can have clients who want the service and can actually access the service, and at the end of the day, I could offer that service and still be able to take care of my overhead, and I have something for myself at the end of the day.
And for many, starting a business is a scary venture, especially when you have varying opinions. But like Nike, Neil simply said this:
just do it. Just do it. Just do it and have patience. Take your time and just do it. There's nothing else to say apart from just doing it. The worst thing that could happen is you fail and you learn from your experiences and you have that to move forward and try again. That's all I could say. Just do it, because I've been someone for the past maybe 5 years talking about starting a business, and just to think about it, they talk to friends, they talk to family. Some people say do it, another one deter you. So I would just say just do it. Just do it, because maybe if I started this 5 years ago, maybe I would have already had 5 trucks running around the business, around the city. I would have already been here on news. You guys would have already know MQ mobile detailing. So just do it. And the worst thing that could happen is, like I said, you fail and you learn from that.
And any good business owner knows how to make a good pitch. But this one in particular gave a pitch just sparkling as the wash he provides.
Convenience, time. Time will be locked time. So if you want to save time, you need a vehicle wash restored, just call us and we'll bring the shine to you anytime, anywhere.
From accounting to teaching to entrepreneurship, Neil has chosen a different kind of classroom. Talisa Roberts, 7 News.
And that's all we have for you for our newscast tonight. Thanks for watching. With your news, I'm Indra Craig. Remember, you can access a full transcript of the news at 7newsbelize.com and see the streaming video on our Facebook or YouTube pages. Have a great evening. Join me back here tomorrow at 6.